What's up, Solar Warriors? My name is Jarrett McAllister, the virtual Solar Pro, and today is Tuesday, December 12th, 2023. I'm alongside my couple co-hosts here, Tom Cotter, Jonathan Bernasso. Gentlemen, how are we doing on this lovely December day?
Fine and dandy here in Kansas City. It's a balmy 43 degrees.
Ooh, that's nice and warm. That's like board short flip-flop weather where I'm at.
I wear shorts year round. I'm still California guy here.
There you go. How about you, Jonathan? I see you are in Southern California location because you have a little bit of furniture behind you. So we could tell.
Got my power trophies here. Our Mexico home build poster. And yeah, the sun is out in Southern California, so it's going to be a great day. And there's only today and two more Tuesdays left of the year. So definitely winding down the year in a reflective mode and already thinking of, setting the right goals and intentions for 2024.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's I know it comes quick. I swear. This is our third or fourth end of year meeting. We kicked these off in, was it 2020? So when we were starting to do these meetings, here we are just a few weeks away from 2024. So man, does time fly? Things are good up here. This past weekend, we celebrated at the McAllister household. My wife did her second annual gingerbread house building party for the kids, where we had all the neighbors and their kids come over, and they brought over all their old Halloween candy, brought it on over, and made gingerbread houses. It was an absolute blast. Great times with the family. So good stuff happening over here. Let's get this meeting rocking and rolling, though, like we do every single week. I see some new faces on here. Let's go ahead and share some wins, right? So if you have some wins, some victories, some achievements that you would like to share with the team, you got a new person on your team, you've closed a deal, overcame some adversity, please share it with the team. Love to hear from you like we do every single week. Go ahead, feel free, raise your hand or type it into the chat. Do not be shy. Right off the bat, I'd like to share a win for one of my newest members on the team, Chance Caspery, who is out in Florida, roofer, new on the team. He actually entered in his first lead into the system and scheduled an appointment that we have set up. Chance, why don't you come off mute really quick? Just introduce yourself, where you're from, how long you been in solar.
Hey guys, like Jared said, I'm here in Florida. I'm in the Orlando area. I've been in roofing for about 3 years and just transitioned to solar full time. I've been selling solar for about a year, and it's a lot better than roofing, that's for sure. So I'm excited to get things going, and got a partner and we're looking to hit the ground running and have a really successful 2024.
Right on, man. Yeah, absolutely love it. Welcome to the team, Chance. His business partner is a partner of mine, my buddy Alvin, who we've been absolutely crushing it and just had an install last week from a roofing client who was installed last week. So crushing it there. Anybody else have anything else that they would like to share? Tom, Jonathan, what do you guys have?
What about
I got a good one.
Christopher Callier too? I don't want you to have a wardrobe malfunction over there, but maybe you could come off mute here after Owen and share about the Texas trip.
Yeah, that's what I was going to share. Owen, go first, and don't worry about the headgear. That's a
what is that?
yeah. Hey, outside of that, I lost a bet and I'm paying up. But huge win. And Michael couldn't be on here this morning, but I did fly to Austin, Texas. I brought on a roofing buddy of mine. He owns a roofing company in Austin. And then I touched base with one of my best friends down there. She referred me to Sean Bussey, who is also a roofer. He owns a roofing company, Bussey Roofing. He called me yesterday, and then we want to get a project going. So we're going to blow the doors wide open in Austin, Texas. So pretty excited about that.
When's Power Day there?
Yes, Power Day there is going to be February 24th. And so I'll fly down for that. And like I said, I've known Michael for 30 years, a lot of trust there. And he's already got 3 proposals in the works. So we're pretty excited. And again, Owen, Carrie, I hate you.
Yeah, people I think people look for financial gains. When it comes to betting, I like hats. But on a serious note, I did onboard an installer as an enterprise. We took over their marketing, their website, and they weren't getting any lead flow. So me and my business partner, Josh, took that over. We got our first lead last night, and I just closed it over the phone for them. So pretty exciting, exciting times in California, not just for financial purposes, but also helping our installers get business, keep they're hurting right now. So I think helping these folks that have families, this is Christmas time, so giving them hope for the next chapter for them three is exciting to be a part of. So thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Owen. I mean, you talked about enterprise and bringing an installer on board. Just a friendly reminder, everyone, that the enterprise platform is specifically designed to help installers grow their business. It's no secret that cash flow is tough right now for lots of businesses. And with the enterprise platform, us being able to take over all of that, them not having to put up money for equipment and payroll and things like that, and all-in-one self-service platform where they can just do what they do best, sell, install, and get paid, and expand their business. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal opportunity. And each and every single one of you have the opportunity to share that with local installers in your area. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Owen. That's a huge win for you.
I was going to say too, on the conversation of the grass is not always greener, I was engaging with someone on Facebook, sending messages back and forth. He actually is a service technician, a repair service O&M technician at Freedom Forever. And he wanted an opportunity to sell solar, make income, and build up a business. And after seeing our model, he realized that it would be the best place to start for him. And he would tell me that he would go to home after home after home where their systems were down for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And he's just like, I don't know how they do it. There's so many systems that are out, and this is a service technician for another big nationwide company. So the grass is not always greener, and he's excited to get his business started. And I had a Zoom call with him to try to set him up for success, make sure he passes his certification, get him plugged in. So a little win from the last week.
Well, and if I can actually circle back on that, one more pro tip. I was speaking with Owen because I was onboarding one of the installer that I was speaking about last week. And he said, I told him, I said, yeah, he has his onboarding call with Amanda. And he said, dude, you should be on that call. So, and I said, you know what? That is a good idea. So I actually was part of the onboarding call with my installer, working hand in hand with them, going through that process. Great pro tip for anybody who's onboarding an installer onto enterprise. Be part of that onboarding with them, that journey with them, make that relationship even that much stronger.
Hey, Jared, I have an ambassador win.
Oh, share, brother.
Yeah, so I have a member of my BNI chapter. He's actually the chiropractor in my BNI chapter. Referred me to his family, and we installed recently, and he forgot to set up his e-wallet. So I said, hey, I'll get a check written for you, but I need a picture opportunity, and that's shaking hands. So we took a picture in the front yard, panels in the back, and he posted it. I didn't tag him, but he posted it on his Facebook page. And next thing you know, I've got 5 other members of my chapter wanting to become ambassadors. So it's a kind of a BNI win and a homeowner win.
Love it, love it, love it, man. Getting people to share their experience on social media, a picture with you, sharing their experience, it's exponential as far as the ROI on that picture. I mean, getting referrals, getting happy customer, getting your name out there, getting that marketing out there. Great strategy, man. Great strategy. So good job. Thanks for sharing that. Any last ones anyone else would like to share or type in the chat before we move on?
I'll kind of piggyback to the BNI.
Right on, Tracy. What's up, girl?
Last week we had a vendor kind of meeting, so we were able to put up our booths. talk about a little bit about ourselves. Doing so, we had some outside members come in. I was able to get a few more ambassadors on my team, so BNI is definitely the way to go.
It works if you work it. Thank you, Tracy, for sharing that. All right. And then I see Larry had a consultant that did not, I guess things weren't working out at some point, but just called him and said, I would love to be back part of the team. Great job, Larry. Thank you for sharing that.
He called and said that, I asked him, I go, you just kind of left in a hurry. And he said, well, I took this government job I can't talk about. And I said, okay, that's fine. And so it's over and I'm back. And I'm like, welcome. And he bounces back between Florida and Puerto Rico.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And then we're going to cap this off with a nice win from my man. I'd like to say aloha and welcome back, Mr. Jordan Shaw. You want to share that? You just put it in the chat, but I think it's worth you just go ahead and spit it out there yourself.
Yeah, so actually, just to show you the power of the ambassador program, had 3 separate wins from Friday into Monday. I was working on it Sunday. This guy was texting me anyway, but he signed his docs late last night on a PPA. 3 wins, 3 separate ambassadors. One of them a mentor deal, but the origin of all 3 are from ambassadors. So that's another 4 SolarEdge batteries to the leaderboard, plus a span, I think. Yeah. So, yep. It's good.
Great job, brother.
Good.
Great
Working
job,
that
man.
Maui market too.
There you go, crushing it. You had a good time out there, you and the fam?
Yeah, it was good. Met with some I did one of my only in-person proposals while I was out there as well. And so I did that, and then also did some networking with a local pro as well, which I already got a deal sent my way as of last night from him as well. So
crushing it.
I do it. It's, it's warm all year round around there.
I do, man. I do. No, great job. I love seeing your posts on social media. You with the fam out there living your best life. Love it, Jordan. We
had a great time. All from a personal note, it was great. Just reconnecting with family and just being with my baby girl and just seeing her just in a different element. And yeah, it was great. So we had a great time. My wife says I was about 80% present. I asked her.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you everybody for sharing your success stories. I feel like we had to pry that out this week, but we finally got everybody to share some wins. Great job, everyone. Let's move on. Tommy, do you have some words of wisdom you'd like to share with everyone?
Words of wisdom. I sure do.
A little power perspective. Should I say?
I sure do. So I think that Marcus Aurelius may have said this, and so this is for Rick Joseph, who texted Jonathan and I on Saturday morning. He texted us a screenshot of him chatting with Marcus Aurelius, which is a Roman emperor. Anyways, I'll let Rick share in the chat if he wants to how he was chatting with Marcus Aurelius, but he may or may not have said this. I couldn't verify it, but it's attributed to him in many places. He said, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. So a long time ago, Michelangelo was carving the famous statue of David when the mayor of Florence, Italy, where Jonathan and Chris Bernasso just recently were, I think, the mayor took a look and told Michelangelo that the nose was too big. And instead of arguing, Michelangelo gestured for the mayor to follow him up the scaffolding, where he pretended to be changing the nose. And when Michelangelo was done, the mayor pronounced it perfecto, perfect. But Michelangelo hadn't really changed it. He just changed the mayor's vantage point to a new one, from which David's nose looked fine. Now, 3 takeaways for you. The first one is to leverage perception in your sales. Just like Michelangelo altered the mayor's view to change the perception of David's nose, in sales, it's crucial to understand and influence how clients perceive you and your solar proposal. And tailoring your approach to align with the client's perspective can significantly impact their decision-making. So you can leverage perception when you understand a bit of psychology, The book, The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy, is a great read that I just finished with lots of practical nuggets. Number 2 is to handle objections creatively. So Michelangelo's creative response to criticism teaches the importance of addressing challenges in innovative and non-confrontational ways. So you can creatively overcome objections by practicing reframing, which involves changing the context or perspective around the objection to present it in a more positive or different light. So think Jeremy Miner's training about when somebody raises an objection, to reverse it a bit and to ask for clarification and directing them in those questions. The third is to influence subtly. So Michelangelo's subtle method of influence of the mayor's opinion, coupled with confidence in his work, highlights the power of guiding clients to conclusions rather than direct confrontation. So you can steer your clients by using suggestive questioning. So this involves asking questions that subtly guide the client towards recognizing the benefits and the value of solar. Around long-term savings, you could ask, have you ever considered how much you could potentially save on your energy bills over the next 10 years with solar? Or if energy independence is a motivation for them, you could ask, how would reducing your reliance on the traditional power grid and achieving greater energy independence align with your goals? Hope this is helpful. Happy selling, Power Warriors. Back to you, Jarrett.
Thank you, Tom, for sharing that. That was great. I love that about, it's different perspective. And man, I loved his approach. Yeah. Let me go change that. Just brought him somewhere else, pretended. Look, he's like, oh yeah, perfecto. But just had to give him a different vantage point, different way to see it, and made him feel like he was the one that influenced the change. That was great. Jonathan, we have some stuff. We have some major things coming up other than just Christmas and New Year's, but why don't you share some important dates coming up in Power's world?
Yes, thank you, Jared. A few quick announcements for everybody. Important dates. Tomorrow, those of you that can make it in Orange County at Lucky Strike in the city of Orange, we'll have a holiday party. So come by, grab a bite, do some bowling, take some pictures, get in the 360 photo pod, and have some fun. Then this Friday, your ambassadors have received an email. Whoops. That I will show you to invite them to an event this Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific from headquarters. So this is what that email looks like that your ambassadors got. Join us for a 90-minute how to learn to earn $1,000 as we head into a new year, new opportunity, referral, effective conversation, tools, and insights. So your ambassadors got this sign up to attend 11 a.m. Pacific this Friday, which is pretty cool. It's engaging our ambassadors and getting us more referrals. So that's this Friday. And then we're going to invite them, those that want even more options or income, to attend Monday's Power Hour. Not all of them, but if you think you have an ambassador that would be make a good consultant, then you can invite them to the Power Hour December 18th. One more quick announcement. It's already another year has gone by since SolarCon 2023. Power's looking at having participation again. Not sure which sponsor level, booth or whatnot, speakers, all that kind of thing. But it will be April 18th through 20th. They gave me a promo code again. I don't earn anything off of it. They just do like prizes and honorable mentions, but there's a little extra discount there. So you can go to attendsolarcon.com and get a little extra discount. And then future trainings, every Monday Power Hour, team trainings Tuesday. Everything's in Power Calendar, guys. So when you go into Power Calendar here, if you want to learn about the span, if you want market development meetings, product training, it's all here. Lease, PPA, Hawaii, California. I would check for your trainings as the holidays come by. You'll likely see a few ones canceled or postponed in the next 2-3 weeks here. So make sure to check out Power Calendar. And then one quick reminder, we did get the Monday newsletter yesterday. So always a good read here. I enjoyed checking this out. Masterclass recap. You can watch a lot of the great announcements. And I believe master classes are moving to a quarterly basis, is what Irene mentioned. So not every single month. And then you can see some of the contest updates, Good Leap, Solar Edge Span. If you want some impact reports, they're half off right now. You can share this flyer for promotions, get vision certified, more enhancements, operation enhancements, sun gauge, and a whole bunch more here that you can read about in your newsletter. And just in case you forgot, power.com marketing, if you click marketing, you can go in and find swag, shirts. You can even do welcome gifts, clearance items. I'm going to be sending some of these amazing cutting boards right here in a pretty box with an impact report and everything else to a few of my top customers and a few of my ambassadors before the year ends. Get in a tax write-off, get them a gift, get some referrals going. So signage, swag, gifts, and then you can go to the personalized marketing collateral. A lot of you have done this already, but you can literally come in and browse a ton of marketing items, gratitude cards. So you can email this out. You can get them printed at a print shop. I believe if you type in holiday, you can find a happy holiday card here, guys, New Year's. So if you're thinking of things to do the next few weeks, gifts, marketing, emails, mailers, flyers, tax credits, like now is the time that it's already the time to get on this. All right, with that said, today's training is going to layer on top of a little bit that we did last week. And Cynthia, as you know, is like the top premier California closer. I think it was Jarrett last year, Cynthia this year. I can't keep track. Two of the best premier California closers, but Cynthia was awarded that. She also is top 10 tier 3 mentor all time with Power. So she has almost over 280 contracts just at Power alone. And she's going to be crossing that 7-figure mark here any moment. And I don't know where this picture came from, Cynthia, but that was Solar City, I think maybe 2 kids ago, before when I, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. But Cynthia, I'll let you go ahead and share some training nuggets with us today. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for the intro. I do have renovation going on in my house, so I hope you guys cannot hear the jackhammering going on in the background. Anyone hear anything?
You're
That's
good.
Okay, great. They were supposed to be done by now. But yeah, Solar City, I want to share a little story with you guys. So 8 years ago, I got introduced to Solar City from Jonathan, and I was it's called Ignorance on Fire, right? I was so excited about the solar industry. I just wanted to share it with everyone. And I had my first company lead and they no-showed. And I asked my supervisor, well, what do I do now? Like they no-showed. He's like, go knock doors. I was like, okay. And I went and knocked 10 doors. I got 6 appointments and signed up all 6 customers. I was like, this is easy. This is going to be a piece of cake. And everyone on my team was just livid. Like, how did she go out and close 6 deals? And I was like, what? That was like so easy, right? And I learned a lot after that, because as we come to know in the solar industry, the sale is the easiest part. Getting it to glass on the roof is difficult. And I don't know where I heard this, but it just cemented in my brain so deeply, is that the number 1 rule to success in sales is to keep the sales you already made. And that's easier said than done, especially in the solar industry. A sale really doesn't count until that glass is on the roof. And so getting there, I'll share with you guys that after those 6 sales, I had so many cancellations because I didn't know what expectations to set. I didn't know how to properly walk my customers through a solar project. I didn't know what things could go wrong, and everything that could go wrong did. And I had so many cancels, and I was like, holy smokes. I need to set the proper expectations. I need to reassure my customers throughout the project. I need to really hold their hand and provide them with excellent customer service. And it does not end at the sale, right? So I wanted to talk to you guys today about what I feel my biggest strength is in business, and that is customer service and customer management. And that is really where that was born out of, that lesson, that story that I told you guys. I had so many cancellations in my first quarter in solar. I had a lot of sales, but a lot of those sales didn't make it through. And I was not willing to allow that to happen again. Because if I had set proper expectations, it would have been a lot different. So I have some scripts to share with you guys. I want to show you guys what my systems are. I love seeing when some of the top leaders share what their systems are, because it's really helpful for me, and I take a little bit from everybody. So hopefully you guys will pick up something today. A lot of it is really similar to last week and what Ashley shared. So I don't have slides for you, but I'm going to just go ahead and show you the sheets where I manage my customer project. We do a lot of things similar, Jonathan and I, because he's my mentor and I learned a lot from him, and I watch what people do and I copy what they do. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the customer Excel sheet that me and my assistant work off of. So all sales from 2022, I have here at the bottom, you can see my tabs. 2023, for example, I'll share. I'm going to try not to show too much of the customer information because there is, their address and their phone number and their email and whatnot. So every time I sell a deal, they go on our customer management spreadsheet here. Let me see if I can actually minimize this so I'm not showing all of this information. But I want to show you guys the categories and what we track. So as soon as we sell a deal, it goes on our customer management sheet. I have it separated by months and dates sold. The reason that I have it separated this way is because every single Monday, we provide the client with an update on what's going on. Yes, they do get automatic updates from power.com. They're going to get those emails to show them what stage they're in, right? As soon as their site survey. And it has a very detailed and very good, you guys, very good explanation on there. So if you're able to just screenshot those and send them to them, that works great. But most people do not read their emails. Most people just look at the header and say, okay, site survey completed. Power provides a very, very comprehensive of what's going to happen next. But in my experience, customers aren't reading that in detail. So a lot of my updates are really reiterating to the customer what's going on. Mondays for us are update days. So every single Monday, we go through the entire list of active projects and provide them with an update. This is why it's important for me to separate them by the month sold so that we can update them in the order they were sold. We go from oldest to newest. I have the hyperlinks right here set up on the Excel, so it takes me right to their project so that I can see what's going on in milestones, where they're at. I can see any updates that were recently given to the customer. Any updates that were recently given to the customer. And you'll see that I have some color coordination going on here. The green are customers that are already installed. The yellow are customers that are complete. They've reached PTO. And the white are projects that were sold that are in process, meaning they need an update. So this customer was last updated on 12/11, excuse me, which was yesterday, because that's our project update day, is Monday. And so she received a text message I text them from the computer, and then I also have an assistant who has access to my text messages. So she goes through and provides them an update. Their project number is labeled inside the text. And usually most of my projects are mentored projects. So a lot of tier 1 sellers within Power bring deals and leads, and I help close them. And so a lot of these have also a tier 1 seller in the 3-way text. So the tier 1 seller is able to see what kind of communication I'm sending the homeowner at every step in the process. A lot of the communication is reassuring the customer, letting them know what's next, preparing them so that they know what to expect. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean with some of those scripts. But yeah, here you can see, you know, these were January deals, February deals. I have the project link here, the last date we checked in with them. Sometimes if I have someone that is in permit for 4 to 8 weeks, then we'll do a next check where, okay, hey, Mr. Customer, we're going to check in with you in 3 weeks. So we're not checking in every single week, and it's not redundant. Like, hey, we're still waiting on your permit, still waiting in on your permit. So we'll do a next check halfway in between that milestone to just see, do they have any questions at this time? Just checking in to say hi, that kind of thing. Apart from name, phone number, email, I do also track here commissions as well. And so we'll put in what the expected commission was, what the actual, and what the difference is. So I could see also, you know, based on what was sold, based on what was actually paid out, what is the difference? For the most part, most of these end up positive commission, at least on my tracking. There is some that are negative, but actually this just is showing up as a negative, but these were actually all differences and they were positives. So like this here, expected was 3, it ended up being 5. I would say about 90% of the time it ends up being more than expected. So that's a good little note for you guys, for those out there. I know there's been some controversy with that. Some people think it ends up being less, but most of the time it ends up being more. All right, so apart from my weekly customer list, we also have a customer focus list. So the customer focus lists are for 911 projects that have major issues on them. And so these are the projects right here that we have some pretty big issues with that need to be looked at more than once a week, multiple times a week. I have a daily list here with hyperlinks. A lot of these need change orders. They needed a new roof. They had an install pull off because of a bad roof. Just bigger issues where I need to check these almost every single day, if not multiple times a week at least. And then we also have what we call our white glove. So we have some white glove customers that, are just a little special and they need some more attention than others. And I call these our VIPs. So this customer, for example, we have 2 100 panel projects with him. Very busy guy, owns Airbnbs. Another one is a mayor of a very big city, very busy guy. And then I have another client where we have 4 projects with her. And so they just get a different level of attention, and their projects usually need a little bit more work. So they're on our white glove list, but all of our customers get white glove service. Okay. So I wanted to take you to the check-in stages and scripts. I am going to provide you guys with a copy of this. I just need to figure out how to export the page. Because even though I love Excel, I'm not a master at Excel like Jonathan and Tom Cotter and Crispin also are. So these are some of the scripts that we have at different stages. For example, when we kick off a project, congrats on your decision to go solar. Next steps will be a site survey to gather information. Support will be reaching to schedule this after they review our initial docs. Your project will be assigned to a project manager who will be responsible to getting your solar to the finish line, but I will be checking in every step of the way. This part is really important because I want to distinguish myself away from the project manager. I want to separate myself. I'm not the project manager. I'm not managing the project. From here on out, the project manager is in charge of getting your project to the finish line, but I'm still going to be checking in on you just to make sure you make it to the finish line. The reason this is set up here is because a lot of times we position ourselves as a project manager and not as a customer's ally. And so that is very specifically worded to make sure the customer understands that it's a handoff right here. We're handing it off to the project manager, but hey, I'm going to provide you next level service and I'm still going to be checking in with you, making sure you're good. That way, if they have any issues they bring up, you can say, all right, let me check with your project manager and let me see what's going on. Site survey. I see your site survey is scheduled on this date. The site survey is to be performed to gather information, create a design. If your main panel roof is accessible, you won't need to be home. From there, your project will be assigned to a project manager, again, who will be responsible getting your project to the finish line. I will still be here checking in. So some of it's really redundant because repetition is key with customers. And sometimes, you know, they're not reading all of the text. And so some of the repetition is super important. After site survey is completed, hey, your site survey was completed. The information will be taken and handed to our engineers for review. Typically, this takes about a business week. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. And so we have scripts at every stage. Perhaps some of the most important stages are installation stage, right? As soon as install is scheduled, congrats, installation is scheduled on this day. We make sure they have the Power customer care number. If you have any urgent matters a day of, you can reach customer care at 1-866-GO-POWER. Make sure to also let me know so I can assist. But here I'm just setting the expectation that, you know, if something goes wrong, they don't need to be contacting you and blowing you up while you're in the middle of the meeting. It's really important that they do have someone to talk to, though, and the correct source is customer care. So I make sure that they have the number ahead of time, just because there are things that come up at installation that the customer is unaware of, or maybe there's a surprise. And so you want to make sure they have that number beforehand. We do also chart all the installations. So for example, tomorrow I have an installation going on, and then today yesterday we had an MPU. So the morning that happens, we send a text to the customer saying, hey, you're on schedule for your MPU, you're on schedule for your install. Just to be aware, it is an arrival window. Let us know if they get there. Please send us a text, right? Because if they don't get there, which happens sometimes, you guys, sometimes something happens, the equipment doesn't arrive, the installer got a flat tire, his baby mama sister's cousin is sick, and they don't show up, right? This is going to happen. And so we want to make sure on the day of installation, we're checking in with the customer and confirming that they arrived. We do this every morning at 9 a.m. As soon as my assistant checks in, she'll send that message. I only got an assistant only a few months ago, you guys. Before that, it was all me doing these texts. And I just have the same system because it works. It works really well. So we remind them the day before installation as well. Hey, your install's tomorrow. Let us know if you have any questions. Make sure your car is not in the driveway. After installation completed. Oh, and then another thing at installation too, there's another script I have in here where it's reminding them, we still have a couple steps left. Installation is not the last step. I think that that's a very, very common misconception with our customers in solar. It's been such a long time. It takes us a while to get to installation that when we finally get there, they're like, okay, great. When can we turn my system on? And they forget the conversation you had, that there's still a couple steps left. So it's really important for us at the time of installation that we remind them that we still have a couple steps. We still have inspection. We still have to apply for permission to operate. And so we do remind them here. So it says here, a reminder, there are still a couple steps after install, such as city inspections and obtaining permission to operate. And we remind them again at final inspection, right? After final inspection, we're going to do the permission to operate. So these are a bunch of scripts. I will make sure to share them with you. I can post them in the chat. At the very end of the project, we have what's called a project closeout. And so I wait to do a visit to the customer until the project is fully complete. not after installation. So we wait until they have PTO, permission to operate, so that we can schedule a closeout visit. I do this if the customer is local to me. I'm not visiting out of state, although I would love to. We just do everything that is local. And so these are the scripts. This is what I go through at project closeout. And this might be a little much. You guys, I know this is a lot of tracking for some people. I'm going to tell you that my first 2 years of Power, I had a poster board on my wall that I looked at every single day, and that poster board worked just fine, and it had everyone's names on it, and I could stare at what my current projects were, who the names were, what stage they were in. And so that works great. But, you know, once you have so many people in the pipeline, at one point this year, there was 100 people in the pipeline, it gets a little harder to manage. And that's where we took it into the Excel at that point. So at the end of every project, another thing I wanted to show you guys was the project closeout checklist. And so this is everything that I have my assistant go through, just to make sure we have a successful closeout of each project. So the first thing is to request the installation pics from the project manager. We want to make sure that we capture a couple good pictures if we can to use for marketing. We make sure the M2 payment is triggered, make sure we got paid. We put the project on the installation map. So I have an installation map here where I map all of my Power installs so that during the consultation, when I'm trying to sell a deal, I can show people, hey, I install a lot of people in your area. I work primarily in Southern California, so this is a big part of Southern California. So when they see this, it really gives them confidence that I'm in their area, I'm selling to their neighbors, I've helped their neighbors go solar. So that goes on the installation map. And what else do we have on there? We send the homeowner monitoring instructions. So I cannot count how many times the homeowners at Power just lose their monitoring instructions from Solar Edge or from Enphase. So we just take a proactive approach to send them monitoring instructions as soon as we apply for permission to operate. So as soon as we apply, here are your monitoring instructions, download your app. At the end of your project, I'm going to explain how to use your app. So we have Solar Edge and Enphase monitoring instructions saved, and we just go ahead and send that to the client so we make sure they received it ourselves. After that, we confirm the homeowner can actually log into their app. Did you log into your app? Were you able to get in? We offer the homeowner a project visit, or if they're out of state, we send a gift after PTO. We ask the homeowner for a review as well. And there's a script for that as well. All of my scripts are here, you guys. So I'll be sending that over to you. Like right here, let me show you the one after closeout visit. Like for example, after visiting a customer, hey, it was really nice to see you in person last week. I'm glad I was able to help assist you downloading your app. As mentioned before, we're still waiting for their final review. So there's a lot of different scripts there. But going back to the project closeout list, we upload the install pics to a marketing folder. So I have everything saved in a marketing folder. I extract the good solar install pics, because if you ask for the install package and you have the PM uploaded to assets, not all of them are going to be photos of panels. You know, there's going to be photos of racking hardware and inverters and whatnot. I send the homeowner install pics and tell them about the referral reward. So again, this is something that Jonathan mentioned they do last week. We let them know about our ambassador program and encourage them to post it on their social media. And not in the same text, but we do ask the homeowner for a review as well. Make sure the homeowner has a customer care number saved. So all of this is part of our project closeout checklist. We make sure that every customer gets this done. And I'll show you really quickly the project closeout checklist that my assistant goes through. So this is every project. And you can see here if she's requested the pictures, if she's made sure that the M2 was triggered, if it's on the map, if we sent the monitoring info, if we confirm login. all of that, right? So it's all here. Did we make sure the M2 is in Excel? So it's a lot of tracking, you guys, but it's completely worth it, because if you're not proactive about these things, then your customers are going to be reaching out to you. Hey, how do I get into my app? Hey, when can I monitor my system? How do I read my bill? Right? So if you can get ahead of this stuff first, then it'll be better than waiting for them to reach out. So let's see, what else did I wanted to show you guys? I also have like VIP referrers. So I have like Sierra, who refers me a lot of business. We have her own customers right here with an update. So we can just send this to her every week, because she hands off leads to us. And so this is someone that we created a sheet just for her, just so she can see what's going on with her clients. She's also a part of a 3-way text. And yeah, there's other things I have on here. But this is our entire project management system. And yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Oh yes, this is what I wanted to show you too. So we go and drop off gifts. I told you that we don't do it after installation. And the reason for that is because I want to make sure I drop off 4 or 5 or 6 gifts all in one day. So we'll schedule what we call a PTO visit, where I will have my assistant map out about 5 or 6 different homes that I want to go and drop off gifts to. And it's always after PTO. The reason for this is so I can show them a post solar bill. I could drop off a gift and I can show them a post solar bill and show them how to read it. Because when they get their first bill, they're not going to know what they're looking for. And if you can get ahead of that and show them, hey, this is where you're going to want to see if you have credits. You're still going to remind them, right? You're still going to get a monthly charge. Non-bypassable charge is what we call it here in California on our bills. And I want to show them how to read their bill, what to look for on their app, who to call, and just have a face-to-face discussion with them and thank them. This is one day where I had a project closeout list and I took my kids that day. I don't usually take my kids, but that one day I did, and we dropped off about 5 or 6. And the customers are so grateful, you guys. They're so grateful because this is extra work on our part, right? To drop off a gift, to visit them in person, to make sure they know how to use their app, to do a bill review with them and make sure they understand how to read their bill so they're not confused when they get it. All of these things not only help make the customer happy, especially if there were any issues during their project, but it helps them go and write a review, because even though, their project may have taken long or there may have been obstacles, they're still going to leave you a good review because you're providing this next level service. They're still going to refer you customers because you're going out of your way to do things like this. And so this is just, all the extra things that we do, that I do in my business, just to make sure that they can say like, hey, we know Cynthia's going to take care of our referrals if we refer someone to her. And if anyone could help me with how would be the best way to share just that one sheet of scripts, that would be great. And I can post that in the chat.
Well, first of all, thank you, Cynthia. I mean, the leadership here sharing the scripts, guys, like a lot of us didn't have this when we started. Like we had to do this, right? Like when we were at Solar City or Sunrun, these things didn't even exist. And we're all business owners here. So obviously it's taken her a few years to get to this level, right? But we can take some nuggets and take baby steps and start to make our spreadsheet and start to build it out. So I would just encourage you, like, be inspired and motivated, right? That's what it looks like. Someone that's closed hundreds of contracts. That's what it looks like to give good customer service, to manage your own mental state, your own projects. Stuff will still go off the rails, but damn, that's super clean, organized. I mean, the closeout checklist is more robust than things that I do. So really, really appreciated Cynthia. And you can tell why, she's a 7-figure earner in the solar industry for years on end and still hasn't given up and still crushing it.
Yeah. And I just want to say, you guys, if that's overwhelming at all, because I know it probably is, the only reason that it's so detailed like that is because I have an assistant now. And so instead of it just coming from my mind and going into a text to the customer, it has to be duplicatable, right? So for that reason, you know, she needs to be able to say, she needs to be able to know exactly what to say to the customer at every stage. And that's why it's gotten to that level of organization, because I need her to duplicate it. And then, you know, she's amazing, and she has a customer service nature about her, but forbid if she's not working with me anymore and she decides to move on, then I need someone else to be able to come in and easily step in and do what I do. But you don't need to organize in that way. You don't need to have spreadsheets. You don't need to have all of that. It could literally just be what I did for the first 2 years at Power. It could just be on a poster board with all of your project names, just so you can see it. It's visible. But yeah, thanks, Jonathan. And, you know, Jonathan's a big reason why I picked up a lot of these hyper organizational habits. But yeah,
Awesome.
that's it. And then Tom, I think he's giving me advice on how to share this.
I did copy a lot of those scripts, and I put them into this Google document just to get a little bit out to you guys. Cynthia has editing capabilities, so maybe we could add some more in there, or some people are suggesting copy that sheet, make a new worksheet, and then share that, or whatever you're comfortable sharing. It might be easier just to add a few more things to the Google Doc I created, but let's figure that out. I would encourage everyone to open that Google document, save it, bookmark it. We'll put some updates in there. We'll link to a new sheet at the very minimum the next few days. And a lot of just, you know, props to you, Cynthia, and amazing info in the chat. Great information. Some questions here while we have a few more minutes. What app do you and your assistant use for text messaging?
So I got her a MacBook, and we use all Apple products. And so I have my text messages and my emails uploaded to her laptop, and she responds through my text messages. I don't recommend this for everyone, but she's a good friend also. And so I trust her with access to my email and my text.
I definitely couldn't have someone having access to my text messages. There's some group text messages I wouldn't want my assistant to be seeing, you know.
Yeah, I'm not embarrassed of anything. Maybe some of the messages Jonathan Bernasso sends, but no, I'm totally joking. But you know what's really nice about it is sometimes I have people texting me that need an answer, and she's in there dropping my calendar and getting them on the calendar. And so it's been tremendously helpful. I wouldn't do it any other way, but you know, if you're worried about, yeah, keeping things confidential, then doing it another way would probably be better.
You know, I like that I share a phone number. You know, my brother and I created a Google phone line for Ashley that we can all jump in and share and have visibility with. So a Google phone number, it can be another idea out there. And then someone asked, what software do you guys use for project management? It looks like it's just Google Sheets.
Yeah, it's just Google Sheets. I don't use a CRM. That is my CRM. So as far as like pre-sale leads, I have that all organized on an Excel tab. But I don't use any other software other than Google Sheets.
Right. Yeah, we're transitioning to go high level, not done yet, but we're going to be testing that in the next few weeks ourselves. But yeah, we've done Google Sheets as well and link it to the project backend office, and it works pretty well, even with hundreds and hundreds of jobs.
Yeah, I was seeing how, you know, I was brainstorming as you're doing all this, but you could easily, I mean, not easily, but you definitely could transfer all of these points and times into go high level with these scripts and automations and moving. Okay, now they're next level completed. Boom, automation, text goes out. So thank you, Cynthia, for sharing this. I'm blown away. And there is no doubt why you are the premier closer in California. Number one, absolutely crushing it. One of my biggest idols in solar. I'm thoroughly impressed, girl. Like, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing this.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, and just that Excel sheet again is our whole management system. We even have like a vendor list on there. Sometimes we need to recommend our own roofer, our own electrician, a power washer. And so I've just been adding to it over the course of the last year. And so it definitely wasn't done overnight, especially the scripts. The scripts took years of not just at Power, but years of knowing what to say and how to say it. So yeah, again, Jonathan or Tom, maybe I'll send you my sheet and you can extract that one page. I don't know.
Sure, happy to help.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks, Cynthia. That was awesome. Not just the top closer, but the top sold to glass on roof, right? That's the goal. That's the goal.
Love it.
All right, let's
Well,
stop.
anybody have any final questions they'd like to ask Cynthia before we wrap this up? If you do, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Raise your hand.
Yeah, what's your morning routine look like? I saw that Google Calendar.
You can probably Sure.
Morning routine. Well, with 3 kids, it should include a workout, but it currently does not. So we usually wake up about 5:30, and then I get myself ready, I get my kids ready, we get them out the door. And then I usually don't sit at my desk until like 9 a.m., which a lot of people are always surprised that it's that late. But I just have a lot of family things to do in the morning, like getting the kids fed, getting them ready for school, getting them out of the house. And yeah, it's pretty much it. Sorry to disappoint, Tom. I know. I did though. I was telling Jared, I did get my under the desk treadmill. So soon I'll be,
We can all be twinsies.
Head bobbing.
exactly. Yeah, I'll be working out while listening to your trainings from this point on.
He wanted to hear wake up, 27 vitamins, green drink, cold plunge.
I'm just
and
curious
then
what other
at
people
6
are doing,
a.m. you
'cause,
move
yeah.
on to, right.
I actually do. I wake up, I have a glass of water. I have about 20 ounces of water or so. And then I love homemade chicken bone broth. So I do have a cup of chicken bone broth. Now, before I have my coffee, I just did a bone broth fast, which was amazing. I did that for a few days and I felt phenomenal after that. And then I have my coffee because your girl needs her coffee. She's not going to give it up. Don't try to take it away from me. I need my coffee. And then, yeah, I don't usually have, it's usually a little too busy for breakfast. Breakfast happens around noon and that's it.
See, Rick
Bone
Joseph
broth and
I
coffee
gave up
works, though.
coffee. So Rick Joseph and I now drink every morning. We drink the tears of former Sunrun sales reps.
Oh no.
Like current Sunrun sales reps. No.
Is that a Ben Shapiro coffee mug that has that?
On
Just
that
joking.
note, we'll stop this recording.
Yeah.